Hi, this is Suchadatta and now picking up the second chapter of Economics Class 9, People as Resource. Now you all are aware of the fact that people are in fact the biggest resource that any country can possess. If we do not have humans, if the country does not have population, then the other resources are useless, because it is the humans who develop other resources due to the ability, the intelligence and other skills that they possess. So, humans are in fact the backbone of all the resource that a country possesses. But we shall be talking about the humans as resource in themselves. Now, let me talk about the new terms of the chapter. The first is human resource. The working population of the country which contributes to the gross national product of the country by contributing in some or the other way, that is, the able-bodied, the people, the humans who can actually work, they are considered as human resource. Next is economic activities. All the activities that a person performs for which he is paid is called as economic activity. For example, if you go out and work as a teacher, lawyer, professor, whatever, then you are paid for your work, so it is an economic activity. Non-economic activity. All those activities for which a person is not paid is a non-economic activity. For example, a housewife does all the work at home, but she is not paid for the work that she does. So, that is a non-economic activity. The various NGOs working for so many things are all under the non-economic activities, because they are not paid for the good work that they are doing. Next is GNP. The gross national product of a country is in fact the total value of all the goods and services produced in a country, and also adding to it is the net earning from abroad. So, all the earnings, whether it is of the goods or services, the value of that within the country and the earnings from abroad contribute to the making of gross national product. Next is human capital formation. We have seen that humans are a resource in themselves, but when human resources are developed by education, by good health, by providing them other facilities, that leads to human capital formation. That is, the development of the humans as such, giving them various opportunities, education and health, leads to the betterment of the humans and is called as human capital formation. Unemployment. Unemployment is that state when a person is willing to work but does not have work. That is called as unemployment. There are two kinds of unemployments that I shall be talking about in the chapter, but remember, unemployment is a general term which means that it is in fact a position, a state, a willing person wanting some work but is not getting any kind of work. Now, we have understood one thing, that the activities are of two kinds. economic activities and non-economic activities. So, a lady working at home day and night does not get paid, so is a non-economic activity. But a lady who goes outside home and gets little money is an economic activity. In the chapter, they talk about two different families wherein in one of the household, the lady goes out and sells fish and thus is doing economic activity, whereas in the other household, she is just a plain simple housewife who does no work. So, that is categorized as non-economic activity. So, the basic idea of the division of the economic and non-economic activity seems to be just the generation of money. Now, when we talk of the economic activities further, they are classified into three: primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Primary activities are those activities which deal with all the natural things, that is agriculture, mining, fishing, forestry. All this is primary activity, something that nature has given to us as a gift and we are utilizing that. That's a primary activity. Next is the secondary activity, when the raw material that we derive from the primary activity is processed, that is called as the secondary activity. That is, the changing of raw material into a finished product is called as the secondary activity. Generally, the factories, the industries are considered to be into the secondary activity. Tertiary activity. Tertiary activity is in fact providing services to the people, whether it is the hotels or it is the transport. It is all providing services to mankind. That's called as the tertiary activity. Now, what I can say is cotton. If you say cotton is what? It is a primary product. When it manufactures into cloth, it is what? It is a secondary product. And when this cloth is taken from one place to another by some mode of transportation, that's like providing the tertiary services, that is providing the third economic activity. Now, from the economic activities, when we are talking of humans as such, we must know that a large population can both be an asset as well as a liability. When we talk of population, and if it is huge, then the positive aspects are, first of all, this huge population adds to the GNP of the country, the gross national product of the country. Since the manpower is huge, so they are contributing to the GNP by their skills, by their knowledge, by their work, by their action. And it also leads to human capital formation, that is, the simple humans are developed further by education, good skills, health, and that turns into human capital formation, leading towards a happier and sound society. But as a coin has two sides, so the negative aspect of the large population is, first of all, when the population is large and it is uneducated, unskilled, it leads to low productivity and low economic growth, because the people are not skilled, they are not educated, they do not have good jobs in hand, they are not leading to any good economic activity, therefore we see low economic growth in the country. The second aspect is that this population becomes a liability for the country because huge population means huge mouth to feed. That means number of people to be educated. That means number of people looking for employment, looking for shelter. That means it is leading to becoming a liability for the country. So, a huge population can both be an asset or a liability as the country can make it to be. Children, when we talk of human resource, two things are very vital. First is education and second is health. So, the Indian government understood the importance of education for a huge population in the country. Therefore, in order to improve the standard of education in the country, to make people literate, the government has taken up the following steps. First of all, education has been made as a universal access. That is, the government is opening more schools and colleges all over the country. Then, Navodaya Vidyalayas are being opened up in almost all the districts. It is also that the vocational streams are encouraged by the government so that people are skilled, they have knowledge, they have working knowledge rather of things. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan has been started by the government, which aims at educating all the children between the age group of 6 to 14 years. Next is higher education is also given utmost importance. That is, all the schools and the colleges are being opened, whether general or medical or engineering. Therefore, the government has played a big role in educating the large masses which are there in our country. But what about the health of the country? Unless the citizens are not healthy, unless the citizens are not fit, we cannot consider them as a human resource. Therefore, the government has started with the National Health Policy in the year 2002, which aims at improving the health standards and the family health of the people. Besides, it also aims at giving nutritional value especially to the underprivileged section of the society. The government has made all these efforts so that the people are healthy, people live longer and they are medically fit. And the outcome of the National Health Policy started by the government and other efforts which it has done can be seen in the following aspects. First of all, the life expectancy of an Indian has increased to 64 years and the infant mortality rate has come down. That is, earlier the babies, the newborn babies used to die, but now the number of deaths has declined. The death as well as the birth rate has also dropped due to the best medical and health policies which have been started by the government of India. And all this is just leading to making the people as a resource for the country, because the resource when they become, they lead to human capital formation. unemployment is that big factor which hampers or does not let a human become a resource, because a human being is a resource only when he helps in the production of the country, adds to the GNP of the country, is contributing his skills, his work, his ability, his strength, his knowledge to the country. But there are two major kind of unemployment seen in India. One is the disguised unemployment and the other is the seasonal unemployment. Now, disguised unemployment is in fact hidden unemployment, and I am going to explain it to you how it is, whereas a seasonal unemployment is visible. For example, there is a piece of farm owned by a family wherein two people are sufficient to work, but 10 people of that family actually works in that farm, which means the 8 of them are under the category of hidden or disguised unemployment. It seems that they are working, they are contributing, but they are not required there, because the work which is there is meant only for 2 people. So, that is a disguised unemployment generally prevalent in the Indian villages. Whereas, the visible seasonal unemployment is that wherein you work for few months and you do not work at all in other months. That is seasonal unemployment. The second difference is that no services are being provided to the field by these people as such. But in the seasonal unemployment, during the peak seasons, you are providing your services, but the other months you are just relaxing, you are doing nothing. So, both the kind of unemployments are in fact very, very disturbing for the economy of the country. Now, when there is unemployment in the country, it does lead to lot of negative aspects. First of all, it is wastage of manpower. That is, that great human resource which the country possesses, the country is not able to utilize their services, their knowledge, their skill. That means it is a wastage of the great manpower which is there in the country. As many people are not working, it's leading to more number of dependent population in the country. When the income is low, when not many people are working, naturally the quality of living is also low. And when people are unemployment, it definitely is leading to depressed economy. That is an economy which is showing no further growth. That is a depressed economy. Since no output, no work is being done, no money is being generated, there is no rise in the GNP, it is a depressed economy. Then a person who is unemployment has a low self-esteem. That is, he not only lacks in money but also lacks in self-confidence. Therefore, unemployment is a vicious circle which leads to all the other problems in the society. Therefore, just remember that human power or human beings become a resource only when they have good health, good knowledge, good education, and of course a work to do. And that was all about your chapter Humans as Resource.